Just Connect TV is your entertainment and educational channel. We broadcast authentic content that will inspire, empower, and stir up the potential and positive energy in you. Just Connect TV, streaming live.
Welcome viewers, this is Just Connect Online TV on your show, The Business Hub, and today I'm joined by Mrs. Kabura Gichuhi. She is an accountant and we'll talk more about starting a new business, and I believe that this forum will find it useful on the steps of starting a new business. Karibu sana.
Thank you so much.
You can start by telling us who is Kabura Gichuhi.
Thank you, Jama, for having me here. My name is Kabura Gichuhi, as I have been introduced. I am an accountant, and as you know, the work of an accountant is dealing with finance records, and that is what I do in my day-to-day life. But besides that, when there is an opportunity, there is an organization that invites me to go and train people, on and especially women, on how to carry out businesses. So that is what I do.
Wow.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So we want to talk about business startups, and in our society there is the issue of unemployment, but there is a lot of opportunity in terms of available business opportunities. What informs a person to start a business? What should I be focused on? Because some people will say they are looking for pesa ndio anze biashara, but where does it all start?
Now, there are so many different things that can cause a person to want to start a business. Maybe you lost your employment, or maybe deep down inside you, that is what you really want to do. You want to do business. You want to go that line. You do not want to be in employment. And so there is a process that you should follow of how to start a business. So yeah, there are quite a number of reasons why people would prefer to be in business.
Exactly.
Yes.
So where would one start in this journey of starting a business?
All right. When you really feel that you want to go that way, the business way, the first thing that you should do is generate a business idea, because you can't do a business if you do not have the idea. And in generating a business idea, there are different ways of doing it. Like maybe you have a talent and it can inform you that you can go this way and you can make money out of this. So you exploit that talent. Like, let's say, what example can I give? Like maybe you like cooking and you feel this is something that I can do very well in. So you can go that way and start a business. Or maybe you like music, you can start training people on singing. Yeah, so that's one way of generating business ideas. Then there is also, maybe you experienced a problem at one point in your life and you would want to give a solution to that problem. And that actually is a very good way of generating business ideas, because you are solving a problem. And maybe you are the one who experienced the problem, but many other people might be experiencing the same problem.
Exactly.
So out of that, you come up with a business idea.
Yeah, because we have seen people starting businesses because they've seen another person started the business and they heard that there was money. But I like the concept you're bringing of solving a problem. How, besides the problem one could be going through, if we can delve a little bit deeper on starting, the idea being generated from solving a problem, how would one analyze a problem to become a business idea? How can one go through that?
I'll answer that question with an example. Maybe you get into a new estate and you have children, small children who do not go to school, and you need to go to work. Then one morning your household just decides to leave. So that is a major problem which you need to solve. And you look around, you don't get a daycare around there. It can be a very good opportunity of starting a business. You start a business out of that. And you might find there are so many ladies or mamas who have that kind of a problem.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Because some people can be sitting and thinking they don't have money to start, while you have an opportunity right before you.
Yes.
And you have a resource that you don't actually need to buy anything before you start. And how do you brainstorm on these ideas?
You can maybe call a group of people to come and help you. And brainstorming, when you're brainstorming, no one is ever wrong. Because somebody can say something, you might find it as if it's something funny, but out of it, something comes out. So you can call your friends or your family and ask them to help you. You discuss many ideas, and out of that, you just get an idea out of it.
But you don't have to be specific when you are discussing. Otherwise, the idea may be, you may realize your idea has been done by another person.
Yes.
At what point do we brainstorm, really?
Maybe the point when you feel you really want to do business and you actually can't come up with an idea, you can ask for help.
Okay.
Yeah, so people will come and help you get the idea. Yes.
And once you've settled on an idea, how do you develop it?
Okay. We can, now that is another step of developing the idea, because you might come up with an idea which actually is not practical. So the first thing that you do is evaluate that business idea. You have to evaluate, because you might decide on you might come up with an idea that actually, like, let me give an example of, you decide your business is digging boreholes. And actually your surroundings, everybody has piped water. Is that business idea really practical? It is not practical. Actually, like you're saying, it's not viable. It can't work. Who will come to buy your water from your borehole? And they all have piped water in their houses. So it's good to be practical. And also, you need to know, are you capable of carrying out this business idea? Like you might think that you want to come up with a chemist, or you want to start a business of a chemist, and you don't know how to dispense medicine. How do you do that? Or you want to be a bookkeeper and you have no bookkeeping skills. You do not have the skills to carry out that business idea. So it is very important, when you come up with a business idea, you evaluate it, see how practical it is, and see if you have the capability to carry out that business idea. Yes.
Now, assuming there are some areas of that are wanting, would you advise somebody to, say, get the skills if they realize that this can be a profitable business, but I don't have the resource? Which one comes first? Is it to get a new idea or equip yourself to be able to do this particular?
I think I would say it can be either way, because you might get the skills and see the opportunity. So because now you have the skill, you seize that opportunity at that moment. Or maybe you get an idea, but you don't have the skills. You can opt to go for the skill, to go and learn the skills. So it can be either way. You can get the skills first, or after you get the idea. Yes, yes.
How do we go forward after we have evaluated? We are now able to see it's a viable opportunity, it's practical. How do we go from there?
Now, from there, when you know that this business is viable and I have the capability to do it, the next thing that you do is you get a name for your business. Because you can't just have a business which cannot be identified. You need an identity for your business. And it is very important for you to be very creative when you're coming up with a business name. you might come up with a name that people are not able to pronounce, you know.
True.
You just get a name which is so difficult to pronounce, or you come up with a name that has nothing to do with your business, you know. It is very important that whatever business you're doing, let your name have some information. It's giving some information about the business that you're going to carry out. So naming the business, and then have a name that you can trademark, you know. It's important to trademark your business.
Exactly.
Yes.
So I'm just thinking about the name that will talk about the business that you are about to do. How would you develop such a name? I know this may be intricate because initially we found businesses where a husband and a wife
combine names.
They combine names and they have this business name. And where can one go? There is availability of information on the website and all these things.
Yes.
What would you advise?
Yeah, actually, there are some websites which help you generate names. That's one way of getting a business name, using the internet to get a business name. And also you can just yourself, you can even ask people, I want to do this. Combine your efforts with some people who you can trust. They can help you come up with a very good name that can give information of what you want to do. Yes.
You mentioned something about trademarking. What benefit does that give the business owner who intends to use this particular name?
Trademarking is important because when you have trademarked your name, nobody else can use that name. So nobody can go stealing the name. It's yours. You won't have another business with that particular name. That's one thing about trademarking. One very important thing about trademarking.
Yeah.
Yes.
And going forward, we now have a name. What process follows before the business even takes on? In terms of, do we need a plan? How do we start this business? You can educate us on that.
Yes, once you have the name, you have evaluated your business idea, it's good to have a business plan. Because a business plan is like a roadmap that you're going to use or follow. It gives you information of where you're going to get capital from, who are your competitors. You know, you do a research, who are your competitors, and how are you going to market your business. All that is contained in the business plan. Like I have talked about capital. When you're going to, maybe you don't have your own capital, you want to source it from somewhere else. It's important when you have that document to go and present it to a person. Maybe you want a loan from a person or from the bank. You're able to present that plan so that they will see, is this business really going to work? You will give them the steps that you're going to follow to see your business work. Yes.
Do you need a professional to help you with this? If it sounds like a serious document.
A business plan is a serious document. And if you will need to get professional help, it is very important. And especially if you are doing a large business, it's very important to involve professionals to help you do this business plan. What you will do, you will just give them your information, and then they will be able to come up with a very good business plan for you. It's very important that you involve somebody who is professional, who's a professional, yes.
And do small opportunities, the small businesses, do they require business plan? And what is the scale of the extensiveness of this plan for a small business? How far can one go with it?
Jama, let me tell you, when you're starting a business, it doesn't matter how small it is. It needs a plan. It needs a plan. Write down what you want to do, how you're going to do it, where you will be doing it, whether it is so small or what. It needs a plan. It doesn't matter the size of the business.
Mhm.
Even if you want to start vending fruits, have a business plan, because every time you'll be going back to it. A business plan also gives projections.
Okay.
I want to be here after 1 year. I want to be here after 2 years. You will be able to go back to that plan and see, am I really following what I had written on my plan?
Mhm.
So all businesses need a business plan.
Mhm.
Yes.
And because you realize that you go to people who are in business and they consider it jua kali and they don't see any kwani jisumbue.
Importance. Mm.
You can are there forums where people can learn these or where can one get, is there like a format of how somebody can write it in case they don't have cash to consult?
Yes. The internet is a very resourceful place. It can help you know how to do a business plan. And also, I'm sure when you really need to do a business plan and you have no cash to engage a professional, I'm sure you can get friends who can assist. But just have something. Don't say you do not have cash. That is where you're not doing a business plan. Yes, we have the internet now.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's not expensive. You might only need 50 bob data bundles and you are there. You're able to search and see how to do a business plan.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
We're going to take a short break, and I believe that you are following us, and this show is going to be a blessing to you, even to be able to structure your business in the right perspective. We are going to come back and look at the legal requirements of starting a business. Thank you.
Welcome to Marriage Bliss. This is your home for marriage enrichment.
Sure, at Marriage Bliss, here we unveil the true picture of how God intended marriages to be. Are you finding joy in your marriage?
Or are you at the verge of quitting?
We, the Muigais, are partnering with God to restore bliss in marriages. Tune in to your favorite Just Connect TV on Facebook and YouTube. We shall enrich our marriages together. Karibu.
Welcome back. This is Business Hub on Just Connect Online TV. I'm joined by Mrs. Kabura Gichuhi. She's an accountant, and today we are talking about business startup. And we were at a point we were discussing the business plan, and in it you mentioned about the location. What are some of the considerations that one should put in while locating a business?
About location, you need to look for a very suitable location for your business. Because if, let's say your business is a butchery, you need a place where there is foot traffic. That is one very important thing. Because you cannot go to put up a butchery where there are no people passing by there.
On
You
fifth
know,
floor.
you're on 50th floor. Who will know that there is a business there? And then you need a place which is accessible. Because there are some places, maybe the roads are not good. It is very hard for people to access your business. So look for a location where it's accessible. And then you need a place which is secure, that even your customers will feel secure when they're coming to your shop. And also your business is safe. You know, there are no people coming to vandalize your business. So it is very important that you look at the security of the place and also the rent amounts. Because there are some places which are too expensive.
True.
And your business might not be able to take up that cost of rent. And look at the amenities around, you know, and whether this building or the place where you're going to, the utilities are provided, like maybe water or electricity. So it's important that when you're looking for location, you look at those factors. Yes. Yes.
And does the target customer, the customers you are targeting to come to your business, will the location issue be considered?
Yes, it is the target customers. Let's say you're targeting old people. I'm just giving an example. Maybe you have decided you want to start an old people's home. and you need a place. You must have a place where they won't be going upstairs, and a place which is safe for them even when they are walking around.
Exactly.
So the target customers is very important. You need to look at who are you targeting as your customers as you look for the location. Yes.
Okay. And there is when the business is still starting, we have different resources that are at our disposal, and this person may decide to start. You can advise her or ask whether this is a good idea to consider. Where you start your business from your house, but how do you market? What is the value of the contacts that you have and the people that you know? How do you start reaching on them as you're addressing this issue of the location, per se?
Yes, it is very possible to start a business from home, because when you have your phone there, you have so many contacts, friends, relatives, people you once met, and they can be very resourceful. They can be your very first customers. And it's a way of actually marketing your business, because you will maybe sell something to that friend of yours. Maybe you call that person, come home, I have this and this. They will go and tell somebody else, or somebody else will see what this friend of yours has, and they will ask, where did you get this? And your business gets more customers out of that. So your friends, your relatives, people you have met in church or wherever, they are very important when you're starting a business. They should actually be your first customers. Yes.
Because sometimes you realize that if you start business in a strange place, before you get your first customers, it may be quite tricky. Is it that sometimes people are not aware of this information, or there is fear that they'll be judged? So that is why some do not even consider the people they know and their contacts as their first customers.
I know there is that tendency of people fearing, especially their relatives. You start thinking they're going to think, I cannot make it. Or maybe that business that this person is starting is not viable. So I know there is that fear. But because inside you, you know that that business is going to work, just go ahead and contact them. You might be surprised that you get people coming out of that. So, because let the fear get out of you, because it's something you are determined to do. Don't even think of what people are going to say about you. Just do what you want.
And maybe while we are at this, I'm just thinking, what should be how should an entrepreneur who is starting a business, what are some of the qualities they should have? Because you mentioned about fear. What are some other qualities they should be able to overcome and they should have?
Yes, there are quite a number of qualities that an entrepreneur should have. And the first one is patience. When you start a business, you don't start a business today and it takes up immediately. So you need to be very, very patient. Another quality that an entrepreneur should have is communication skills, because you need to communicate to your customers. You also need to communicate to your other stakeholders, like your suppliers. So it is very important to have communication skills. And then another skill you need to have is to be able to make decisions about your business. Maybe you need to make a decision whether you want to take a loan or what, or any other decision. So you need to be a person who is able to make decisions. Then you need to have mathematical skills. Here in business, you're dealing with money. You need to know how to deal with figures. So get some mathematical skills. And you also need to be a person of self-control. You're able to control yourself. Maybe customers have come here and they have made noise. Be a person who is able to control yourself.
Exactly.
It's also a very important skill.
Yeah, I've seen people who while they are doing business, maembe imepita, amekula, mayai, is this part of the self-control quality that a person should have, so that you are not, because you mentioned it as you are starting on those qualities in terms of profitability of the business while it is starting. At what point should somebody start anticipating profits? Because the issue of mathematics then comes in terms of the profits. How to know how to calculate your profit. So that's how do you go about all this?
Now you have mentioned something about when maembe pitas, you take one and whatever else comes about. When you're starting a business, you need to control such things, because you will be taking up your profit. And actually, before you break even, it is advisable that you don't start taking out profit from your business. And sometimes it may take even some months. So when you're drawing up your capital needs, you need also to include some allowances for yourself, so that you don't start taking money from your business and you have not even reached the break-even point. So you are actually eating your capital. So it is important that when you're starting a business, give some allowance, and then when you start making profits, get a salary for yourself. Don't be taking money out of the business anyhow. It is very important that you get a specific amount that you'll be taking every month. It helps even to know whether you are able to meet all your expenses. Your salary should be one of the business expenses. Avoid taking out money from the business because you say, today we've made so much sales. Yeah, and you don't know whether you're even meeting the costs of making that money. Yes, so it's important you just control yourself from taking money out of the business.
Exactly.
Yes.
Going forward, let us look at the legal requirements of starting a new business. Which ones are they, and how do I, as a business person, start complying to them?
When it comes to legal requirements, it sometimes may depend on the business that you're doing. Because if you want to maybe form a company, you must register that company. And even a business, if you won't just register a business, go and register. There is something that is called business registration. You need to do that. And then check which taxes your business needs to pay. Like maybe your business, you need to pay value-added tax, what we call VAT. Make sure that when you're registering your business, you have that obligation. And other types of taxes, because there are quite a number. Check if the business you're starting needs to be registered for these taxes. And also you need to register with the city council, because you don't want to be running around every time the city council comes to your place. Have your business, get a permit for your business. Actually, it's a way of obeying the authorities.
Exactly.
And actually the Bible tells us that we need to obey the authorities. So register your business, have all your documents well documented. Yes. Yes.
And there is also the other perspective, because maybe this one comes as we are looking into the legal obligation of keeping your documents right and obtaining the receipts and issuing of the receipts. Because most of the people, you buy something, there is no receipting, there is no documentation. What would you advise on this particular aspect?
Yeah, that's a disease that many small businesses have, because small business owners think that they can hold everything about their business in their head, which is not possible. You need to keep record of each and every transaction that takes place in your business, however small your business is. Actually, this very small business is like fruit vending. I think you can also keep records for such a business. Just take a book and record. In the morning, I have these many fruits. And in the evening, I have this. How much have I sold? If you don't do that, how will you know how much you have sold? You need to keep records of your business. Even if you're selling sukuma wiki, just write down, I bought this at this much, and I have sold these bunches of sukuma wiki. And in the evening, I have this remaining. That is very important for you to know whether you are profitable. And again, records are very important because if I can give an example, if your business, if an accident happens and your business gets burnt down and you have no record about what you had, even if you had insured your business and then the insurance wants to pay you, how will they know what you had for them to pay back that? You know, it is very important that you have those records, and also for tax purposes, you know, because the taxman will come following you. Where will you get the information of what you have sold or what needs to be taxed, you know? So records are very important. Yes. Yes.
And you mentioned about taxes, and majority of the people at times, they don't find it, they don't want to comply with it. Either they find their businesses are too small or they have no idea how this is done. At what point is a business viable to pay taxes?
If you follow it up with the taxman or like KRA here, they can tell you whether your business has reached the scale of being taxed. So it is not good just to assume my business is not taxable. It's good to follow up with the KRA or the people concerned with taxing for you to know if your business is up to the scale of being taxed. Yes, yes.
I'm looking at the issues of financing and documentation, because you have talked about one of the benefits being how to record your tax and make sure that the documentation is right. Does keeping of records help you in case you need credit for amplification of your business to another level?
Yes, the documents are the main thing that will help you even go to the person or to the institution where you want to get a loan, because they will want to know how is your business doing, and this loan you're taking, are you really going to expand your business? How will you prove to them that this is actually how your business is doing and this is what you want to do? So records can help you so much when you want to get credit, and especially from the banks. They will always want to see your profit and loss account, your balance sheet. How are you doing? If we give you this loan, are you going to be able to repay? And unless you have the documents, you will not be able to convince them. So documentation is very important. Yes.
And as an accountant, where do you come in? Especially somebody may not afford to employ an accountant when they are starting a business. How can they get accounting services, or how can somebody start so that they professionalize their business? And because not all business people who start businesses have the accounting skills. What advice would you give to them?
Okay, when it comes to accounting services, we have quite a number of firms who offer these services, and even individuals. There are quite a number of people who are out there looking for accounting jobs. And if you feel that your business is expanding to a point that you need a professional to do your accounting work, you will always find people, or you'll always find those firms that do that kind of work. And yes, it is very important to have people doing your accounting work in a professional way, and especially when your business expands. Yes, it's good to go ahead and look for somebody who can do that for you. And they are there. There are many people who are doing this kind of work.
Exactly.
Yes.
And so you don't have to employ one. In your small business, you can hire the services.
Yes. Actually, myself, I am working for 2 companies, but they have not employed me. I do not go there on daily basis. I just go, get the information, work on it, and then deliver the report. So you don't have to employ somebody, because when you employ somebody, you will be required to be paying their statutory deductions. You have to insure that person. You will have to have the pension for that person. So it might become a bit expensive. But there are people out there who are willing to offer these services to businesses. Yes, yes.
Because it's good information for somebody to know whether these things are available.
Yeah.
So that you don't struggle and say, hiyo wachia how. And if we going forward, how would one, depending on the particular service or product a business is dealing with, how would they source their merchandise or the products they are selling? How can one go around this?
When you decide on the business that you're doing, the first thing that you should do is do a research on where to find these products. And you can also ask people around. It's one way of doing the research. So once you're so convinced that now everything is set, go and look for your merchandise. Bring it to your shop and start your business. Yes. There is always a place where you can find the resources or information about the products that you're going to deal with. Yes, yes.
Are there some of the sources that you can, or it will depend on the business?
It will actually depend on the business that you're doing. Because if it's a butchery, you know where the meat is sold. If it's fruits, if you decide on the mali business, which is a very good business, I'm just mentioning it, but it's a very good business. You go to Kamukonji. Yeah, there. Yes.
Ah, wow. Yeah, because somebody may not be privy to some of the information, and I think this is where the friendship comes, where you are discussing with your friends, as you indicated earlier, because you may get some of the ideas on the sources from friends and people in that particular business. As you almost come to an end to this, how do we launch this business? Tutaenda tu tufungue milango, ama is there a formula of doing this?
Well, I wouldn't actually consider it as a formula, but before you open doors, you need to have informed people. And especially with the area where you're going to have your business or where your business is going to be located. It's good to inform the people around there that we're going to open this kind of a business here. Maybe you can do some leaflets, supply those and distribute those leaflets around for people to know, and let them know this is the day we're going to open the doors for this business. And tell people, call people and tell them, I am opening this and this and this. Your family members, I think they are very important when this kind of a thing comes. And your friends, let them know that you're opening a business at such and such a place. And if it's a service, you're going to start a business, a service or whatever, you're going to offer these services at such and such a place, and we're going to launch it on this and this date. So it's important to market it before you open, because sometimes you might just open and people are like, what is this? What is this that has just come here? So it's important that you market before you open. Yes.
And you mentioned a very key point on marketing, because sometimes people just open and they expect customers to come in. What is a place of marketing? And because it's a costly element also in the business, but what value does it bring to the business?
It makes your business to be known. Actually, when you're doing your business plan, you need to come up with the strategy of how you're going to market your business. Know how much it is going to cost you, because like you have said, marketing a business is costly, because sometimes you need to maybe like print those leaflets. You might also need to maybe offer some free products to market your business, that is a cost. So you need to incorporate that in your initial capital. Yeah, and that's how you might come about doing the marketing strategy, coming up with the marketing strategy. Yes.
And as we come to a close, what would be your parting shot and the word for the viewers in terms of, should they go ahead and consider this as an option of making money? What would be your parting shot, basically?
Yeah, I think I would tell people, if it is in you that you want to do business, do not fear. Go ahead, do some research on the business that you want to do, and move on, carry out the business. Because we have seen people succeed, and if you do your work well, you're also going to succeed. And don't open a business because you've seen another person open a business. As maybe you have seen somebody do this and they have succeeded. You think you will also succeed. It is good to do the business that you really know is going to profit you. You don't know how much that person did to get to that point of being profitable. So it's good you come up with your own idea, evaluate like we said, and see that it's going to be profitable. Yes, and I want to say it again. Don't fear starting a business, because the bold are the ones who make it.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. What a good place to end. And I believe that we shall have you, as people raise questions, to consult and even have you in our shows. Thank you so much for finding time to come. And I believe that our viewers, you found this a productive time where you've learned how to open a business. And I believe that it also gives you confidence to consider starting a business. This is Business Hub on Just Connect Online TV. Thank you so much for your time. Bye-bye.
Just Connect TV is your entertainment and educational channel. We broadcast authentic content that will inspire, empower, and stir up the potential and positive energy in you. Just Connect TV, streaming life.